just very basic here. Okay, let's say that I have a parabola looking like this. Class, is that opening up or down? Up. So what would my A be if that was my parabola?
Positive.
It'd be positive, exactly. Okay, there are two parts of a parabola that I need you to know, okay? What they are is a vertex. Okay, so the first thing I need you to know what it, okay? We're going to define a vertex as either the highest or lowest point on your parabola. It's either the highest or lowest point on parabola. Okay? It's highest or lowest. And you know what determines whether that is? It determines it depends on whether the parabola is opening up or down. So think about this. If my parabola is opening up, my vertex would be the what point on my parabola?
Lowest.
The lowest, exactly. If the parabola is opening up, the vertex is now going to be the lowest point of your parabola. So obviously this would be the lowest if it was opening up. If your parabola was opening down, now what is the vertex? The highest, exactly. So it all ties into whatever A is. If A is positive, it opens up. So therefore the vertex is a what? Is the lowest. If A is negative, the parabola now opens down. So therefore the vertex is now the highest. Okay? Would you please put down here, guys, lowest? I want you to think of this also as the minimum value. If it's the highest, it's called a max. The max or min, okay? Because when we get into asking what is the max or min value of this parabola, so think of lowest as the min, highest is the max. Okay? All right, so we've got the vertex. The vertex is this point that either the lowest or highest point of my parabola. The other part of the parabola you guys need to know about is what we call the axis of symmetry. Let's write that down. The axis of symmetry. Okay? Axis symmetry, class, is a vertical line. It's a vertical line that passes through the vertex and cuts the parabola in two symmetric pieces, or in two halves. Let me write that down, and then we'll show you what it looks like. Okay, so the axis of symmetry is a vertical line. Class, if it's a vertical line, then what would the equation be? Y equals or x equals? If it's vertical. What axis would it go through if it was vertical?
X.
The x, right. So your equation of your axis symmetry is going to be x equals some number. X equals 2, x equals 3. Okay, so it's going to be x equals whatever the value that is going through on the x-axis is. So let's say that, obviously right here, this would be my vertex, wouldn't it, class?
Yeah.
Right? And what did I say the axis symmetry passes through? From the definition of axis symmetry, what does the axis symmetry pass through? The vertex, watch. I'm going to make it dash so that you can see what it looks like in terms of over the black. But wouldn't that be my axis symmetry right there?
Yeah.
Doesn't it pass through the vertex? And it cuts my parabola in half, okay? It cuts it into two symmetric pieces. So guys, can you tell me what this is as an x? X equals what? What would my equation be? X equals what?
3.
I heard someone say it. Say it louder.
3.
No? X equals 0, exactly. Because isn't this 0 on the x-axis? So this would be the equation of x equals 0 for an equation of my axis symmetry. So let's define this as, or let's identify this as the axis symmetry. And this is called what again? What's this thing called here? The vertex. Okay, make sure you have those identified on your parts of the parabola. So you understand the vertex is going to either be the lowest or highest point. The axisymmetry is the vertical line that passes through the vertex and obviously cuts the parabola in two symmetric pieces or two equal halves, or in half. Does the parts of a parabola make sense? Now, class, tell me, will a parabola always be opening up and always going through the vertex? I mean, always going through the origin? No, a parabola might be over here, opening up. Okay, it might be opening down and over here. So this is just, this parabola right here would be the graph of y equals x squared, which we'll talk about now, which we call the parent quadratic function. All right, ready to move on?